As raging floodwaters tore through the city of Kerrville, police officers rushed into the danger, determined to get families out alive. But a year later, they say what still resonates most with them isn't their own acts of heroism. They say it's the countless people who answered the call to help.
At first, it felt like another hill country storm.
In Kerrville, we have a lot of low water crossings. And so what we do is no matter what, we always go out and monitor those.
But in the early hours of July 4th, everything changed.
Dispatch is notifying us, hey, there's a critical incident starting to begin farther upriver.
Minutes later, Sergeant Benjamin Ledesma saw it.
And as I'm coming down the hill, I see the wave, a literal wave of water coming across this bridge. And to me, that was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be something that is, detrimental.
In that instant, the storm wasn't something to monitor any longer. It became a race against the water.
There really wasn't time to think about it. It was just go.
Officers scattered across the city, knocking on doors, trying to stay one step ahead of the rising floodwaters. Officer Brianna Henson was the only officer on her side of town, and one stop has stayed with her ever since.
They were telling me, we don't have a vehicle to get out. We have no way of leaving.
She asked nearby neighbors to help.
And when I went back to go and check on them, I couldn't get to them anymore because the water already rose over the roadway. So I couldn't get myself or my patrol vehicle or anything over to check and make sure that they got out. So that stuck with me.
As conditions across the city went from bad to catastrophic.
No one hesitated to get into that flood water to go in and rescue someone.
Every officer shared the same goal.
There was no time to think before waddling through neck-deep water. If there was somebody that we need to get out, we were going, and we were going to find a way to get them out, and we did just that.
But rescuing people meant more than getting them out of the water.
There was a lot of times where fear was absolutely consuming people. They don't need us to match their energy, we need them to match ours.
As the floodwaters receded, the rescues gave way to recovery. And for Sergeant Ledesma, a Kerrville native, that meant helping reunite families at the funeral home, where the tragedy became deeply personal.
You see these people every day in normal walks of life, at soccer games, at baseball games, you see them family functions, and then now you're here in like an out-of-the-world experience, or you're having an out-of-world experience because now this person isn't supposed to be in this place.
A year later, both officers say they remember more than what the flood took. They remember what it revealed.
The people that rose to the occasion, that came when they were asked, and even more importantly when they weren't asked, that has always been a steady reminder of the good side of humanity.
In the aftermath, Sergeant Ledesma says that's what gives him hope. Neighbors deciding someone else's life mattered just as much as their own. A community that chose each other.
One day you're going to be asked to do something that's very challenging, that's very hard. In the end, all we have is each other, and we have to take care of each other and continue to support each other. It's less about maybe what we've gone through, but more about how we overcome that.
Along with the entire Kerrville community, both officers tell us they are still working to heal, and they will never forget the lives lost that day.